Hey, hey there, Facebook fam. What is up? What is up? It is Wednesday evening, not a normal time for me to hop on here and go live. But you know what? We've been setting them up for Sundays usually, Sunday at 8:30. And I think that's probably what we're going to be leaving it as for the most part. But there's going to be some audibles. So this is one of them. I also have a couple of guests that Sunday is not their preferred day to hop on and do an interview. So what we, like I said, are going to call an audible and change up those schedules a little bit. But this is where I am coming up today. Hey, Christy, thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, this is why I'm coming on today, because I've actually been gone for the past week. So, just give me like a thumbs up. Hey, Christy, let me know if you can hear me good on here. Making sure that we got that audio going on. I had to reset up my sound stuff. Just simple mic, but want to make sure that's connected right, because we all know me in the tech stuff. I know how to mess it up, that's for sure. So I'm not seeing it on there. All right. So anyways, we're going to assume that it is, because otherwise you guys are going to tell me that my lips are moving and you can't hear me. So anyways, yeah, so we were gone for the past week. We were at Funnel Hackers Live. My husband actually, okay, thank you, Christy. My husband, John, actually came to along with my daughter, Kenzie, my almost 3-year-old daughter. And she actually, we weren't able to have somebody watch her for that long. The event went from Tuesday to Saturday. It was the longest, most intense and beneficial event that I've ever been to. So Funnel Hackers Live, it's basically kind of like a high-level internet marketing event. And so it was awesome. And I was actually just going to go there by myself once we found out that Ken's, we didn't have somebody to watch Ken's, but it was at the Gaylord. And that place is incredible. And I'm very thankful that my friend Cassie was like, hey, why don't you just bring Ken's with you, bring both Ken's and John. And I'm like, okay, that totally makes sense. And they had a blast. It was awesome. We actually extended the time 3 extra days and stayed out in Nashville. We got an Airbnb, went to the Science Center. It was awesome. So like I said, I wasn't coming on that Sunday, and I didn't want to wait all the way till Sunday to kind of share this with you guys. So anyways, again, if you guys are hopping on, welcome, welcome. I know, you know what, I'm supposed to be actually putting different things on here. Hey, Matt. But yeah, so this event was incredible, and I'm not going to go into too much detail on it, because I think what I'm going to do is kind of go through and provide you guys with some solid chunks of value, because each speaker obviously had different things that they were talking on. And that's kind of what I want to do for you guys. I want to bring you guys some solid content and be able to bring a little bit of that event to you. So not that I will do it any kind of justice. I'm not going to get it twisted. I'm just going to do my best to kind of share some of the points that really resonated with me. And, you know, some of my friends, hey, Frank, some of my friends in the e-com space, whether you're merch, FBA, drop shipping, wholesale, affiliates, all that kind of jazz. I really think that this is going to resonate with you guys as well. And I know it will, because I've talked to a good number of you guys, and this is a topic, like in the title, I went on there and I said, I see you, we got you. I think that's what I put on there. And there's a reason. There was a speaker, I should probably get his name right. Hang on. Darn it. My husband could totally help me out with this. That's not right either. His name is Garrett. We'll start with that. he's actually somebody that my husband's followed for a while, entrepreneur, leadership type, really, really cool, hard-hitting dude, actually. And his talk came on the very last day. I don't think there was a dry eye in the house. And it's funny because he was one of the most direct and hard-hitting speakers that were there. And the different things that transpired over that was really awesome. What's Garrett's name? Garrett White? Okay, so Garrett White. So yeah, he came down and he helped me out. So Garrett White. And so it was amazing. Again, all of the speakers were. I'm going to touch base on a lot of different ones, but I want to pull something out of his talk because I think it's really, really important. And it hit me with every person that I talked to. I got a chance to connect with some really, really incredible people, high-level sellers. You know, one of the guys, we were just waiting in line. They actually provided dinner a couple times before some of the networking events. And I was talking with this one guy who has, just in 2 years, he's built up an Etsy store. And last year he did like 300,000 because I was talking to him like, oh, Amazon merch, you're doing Etsy, you're rocking it Etsy. Why aren't you doing Amazon merch? And he's like, well, he's like, I'm kind of, you know, busy and I've really focused on that platform and I did 300,000 last year. And you could tell he wasn't bragging. He wasn't trying to drop numbers. We were really having a good conversation. And I was just like, wow, well, you know, that's awesome. And trying to talk a little bit about his plan and why he was there and what he was looking to do for growth. And he was kind of lost. He was lost. He felt like he, you know, might have been maxed out at the moment, which is awesome. Like when you're doing something, you're doing really, really well, and you are seeking for, you know, additional ways to grow and, increase your business, basically. So he was looking to branch out. He wasn't really sure what he was wanting to do. We talked a little bit about, you know, private label and, selling some physical products. And so it really occurred to me when I was talking with him and about half a dozen other people, that there's a lot of people that are working in this online space and they feel very, very alone. And it is not something that is easy. So there's a couple of things about this. This isn't just like I'm physically working alone, which often you are, which takes a lot of, you know, discipline. It takes a lot of self-management, whatever you want, like whatever you want to say. It really takes a lot of focus and energy in the right direction. And often you feel a little bit unsure because there's so many different things in this, when you're in business for yourself, there's so many different ways to do it. Like, just like when that guy's talking to me and he's like, yeah, I do Etsy. I do really well on Etsy. I'm like, oh my God, awesome. You need to get on merch, let's go. And he's like, yeah, well, 300,000 this year. And so I haven't really shifted gears. And I'm like, dang, like that's some hot numbers. You started this a couple years ago and your sales are, 300,000 on Etsy and you're a one-man show. And, it was just awesome. And so, again, it really made me realize how one of the things that we, had been doing, and I've been talking about this a little bit over the past pretty much, it's been a year and a half now. Been a year and a half. Hey, Jay, our fellow Canadian. Actually, Jay, I actually was talking to this guy about you because I need to get in touch with him and connect you guys. But anyways, about the Etsy stuff, if you guys don't know, Jay DeSalza, I probably didn't say that right again. We're going to work on that this weekend because I get to meet up with him and Callie. But he is the Etsy dude, him and his friend Dee. So I'm excited to be able to meet up with them. But anyways, it really is difficult when you're working by yourself. And I remember this in the very beginning of our business when we started getting rolling. And for the first 3 years of the business, I was working at full-time and John had a full-time job. He was in finance. Yeah. Yes, Jay, 300,000. Yeah, for real. Like, and so, so John had a full-time job in finance, And he would come home and, I mean, basically work with D'Souza, not the tequila. See, that's why I say Salsa. Tequila gal over here. Hey, Amy. And so, all those comments throw me off, but I like paying attention to them now, so I'll get better at that. And she missed everything. It's okay. Don't you worry. There'll be a replay. And so, I remember it was about 3 years into the business, and John would come home from work, working a 9 to 5. He'd come home from work. That's probably a little bit longer than that, but, and I would just be like ready to like talk his ear off, because at this time there was no Facebook groups. There was no Slack channels. I have a lot of my, mastermind friends on here, which are total badasses, and we get to, mastermind throughout the day on Slack and, different ways of communication, different messaging and stuff like that. Kind of like a little support system. And I realized that when I was back then, 3 years in, and we weren't active on any Facebook groups. Maybe Facebook wasn't out by then. We weren't active on all of that. We weren't in the community. We weren't doing that. I was basically like, I need to either get a job or you need to come home, because I'm about to lose my mind. All I'm doing is talking to the dogs all day. Like, it was not cool. So it really hit me when I started to talk to everybody, because I don't realize how fortunate that we are to have built up an awesome tribe. And I see how a lot of people have not found that yet. And it didn't happen by accident, that's for sure. And it's a lot easier to do now. And if you guys I want to tell you something, if you guys have not found your tribe yet, there's a lot of people on here right now that are incredible. They run Facebook groups. They want to provide value. They deliver incredible content. Like tonight, if you guys are, looking for some awesome e-com stuff, hop on Real Talk tonight with Matt and RJ and Tim. Actually, for the most part, Tim, there's a good chunk that either myself or John have. So you can look. It's quite an interesting array of all those different books, right? Maybe I'll have to go through one time and point out the ones that are my fave. But that has been something that has been incredible. And it's twofold, because you sit there and for the most part, when you're at home feeling alone, again, that can be really, really challenging. But here is one of the most powerful things that he did. So we're in this room, about 4,500 people, right? Everybody's glued to their seats pretty much the entire time, because you didn't want to miss a thing. You didn't want to get up and go to the bathroom. You didn't want to get up and get water. Like, you wanted to be in there and listening. And so he said, and not verbatim, but basically, how many of you guys feel like you know what you should be doing, but you are, basically not pushing hard enough, or that you're like holding back for some reason, or basically because you're in fear of what others might think, what others might say, and whatever the reason is, please stand up. Okay. And mind you, this entire week, we were in this room, and it's just like badass after badass after badass. Every single person you meet is just, confident in basically building a business. Basically building a business and working it for themselves, which is incredible by itself. But the people that were there were just incredible. And I'm telling you, I'd venture to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, gosh, at least 70% of the people stood up. 70%. And so people are standing up, and you're looking around this massive room of all these people that have self-confidence issues in what they're doing and what they're pursuing and what they're working on. And you're like, really? Really? Like, this is crazy. And then he brought some people on stage and basically there was a lot to this talk. It was very, very powerful. But basically, he started having the people on stage say, and this is where my title comes into play, but he had people on stage say, I see you. And then he had the people in the audience say, we got you. Because at this point, you guys, in this entire like weekend, it was very, very awesome how everybody was just there to connect and, you know, be excited for each other and encourage each other. And it was just, that's exactly what was all about. And that's exactly what they wanted us to be doing while we were there. And I mean, they just had us continue to respond back and forth like that. And, you know, to a point to where first we were saying it, then we were doing it in a whisper, and it just hit you. You know what it did? It made you realize that you're not alone. Even when you're alone, you're not alone. And there are other people